Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I'll be guiding you on this journey today. This is the reading for the 1-3 Human Design Profile, the Investigator Martyr. If you don't know what your Human Design Profile is, there is a link in the description below for you to get your Human Design Body Graph, and your profile will be one of the things listed on there specific to your design. Now, these aren't meant to necessarily be educational, so I try to do my best to keep human design language to a minimum. Really, it's just an additional avenue for guidance, for information, because not every 1-3 is an Aries or a Libra or whatever, right? So definitely recommend checking out your zodiac sign readings too. And, before I forget, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. Of course, you get notified when there's new readings. And last time I looked, I was literally one person away from getting to 1,000 subscribers, which just feels like such a milestone, but also it's at 999. So I'm kind of like, I like that number too. Nines are like completion, abundance, things coming together, so that's cool. Let me just shuffle a few more times here and then we'll get your cards out. We're doing a 3-card spread. The first card is your current energy or what's currently surrounding you. The second card is the energy that's leaving or that is no longer serving you. And the third is the energy that's coming in or will be available to you. And then, of course, we will clarify each one of those positions or each one of those with an additional card. Okay. For my 1-3s. Also, like when I stopped shuffling, I'm just going to say this out loud because it came to me and honestly gave me a bit of anxiety. I have my dryer going right now. And as soon as I stopped shuffling, it made this really loud noise. And I had this feeling of a car crash, which I hate to even put out there, but it literally just hit me in my chest. Like the anxiety ping, like it happened. So I don't know, just be careful. Okay. Current energy. We have love or the lovers. That's Gemini. What's leaving, the world card. I love when the world card shows up in the what is leaving part. Holy crap. And then what's coming in? We have the High Priestess. I think you guys are the first ones that all 3 of the initial cards are Major Arcana. So that's some heavy hitting energy. With love or the lovers, we have the 9 of Swords. With the World card, we have the Knight of Pentacles. And with the High Priestess, we have the Page of Pentacles. That's interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so let's start with the Lovers card. It's interesting because this Lovers card, it reminds me so much of the Strength card, and only really because there's a lion and a lady on it. I'm pretty sure this is the symbol for Leo though also, if we can see that. I don't know what all of the symbols look like for each zodiac sign, but I'm pretty sure what this card says is in all of life there's only the illusion of separation. In fact, we are all reflections of one another. When I make a choice, I tend to see things as either or. What if every choice I make is about an experience, a sharing, and an exploring? When I choose to see the unity in all things, magic abounds. Love is all around me. Spirit loves me unconditionally, and I can give and receive abundance and love. Yeah, it's interesting because, both of these characters or both of these, they're both resting here too, and it's paired with the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is anxiety, fear, doubt. It's like being on the hamster wheel in your head, like continuously just, like all of the what ifs, feeling like you don't have enough information to make a decision. It's like analysis paralysis, right? It's also a 9, so it's individual completion. So there could be a decision that you've just been on the fence about. It could even also be something that like is in constant flux, but it changes so often because of the mental state around it, either like uncertainty, or it truly could also be a decision that like it's either you're afraid to make or afraid to see the truth of. And I am kind of sticking to the whole like, choices and the whole either or thing, right? Because I do think a lot of us get stuck in that. If I make this decision, it's going to be this outcome, right? And maybe that's based on past experience or evidence from past experience, but then it almost like prevents us from having a different outcome. So yeah, there's definitely something that you're sleeping on here. I mean, maybe that has to do with a relationship in some capacity. And of course, a relationship can be anything from, a romantic relationship, a business relationship, like your employer, or if you're a business owner, whatever. It could also be a platonic relationship, like with your friends or your peer group. So there's something that you have been weighing for some time here, or sleeping on, truly, right? It's like not wanting to make a decision, or again, it's like you change your mind like a million times a day about it, which also too, like I don't really think that there's anything quote unquote wrong with that. And maybe that's because that's what I do. So I'm kind of like, but at the same time, like I feel like I do eventually get to some sort of point of clarity or certainty. Like I'm a 5-1 though, so it might just be the first line, because first lines, your sense of security comes from having information and understanding things, right? So if you don't have enough information, get it. Don't be afraid to either. And then what's leaving, we have the World card and the Knight of Pentacles. I kind of want to see what this, and I opened right to it. Hardworking, proceeding with integrity, perseverance and grit, prudent and careful efforts, thoroughness, industriousness, stamina, dedication. Yeah. All those things. I'm glad I looked at that, because it's like, stop holding yourself in this cycle. Like truly all that it's doing is preventing you from your own potential. It's, I always kind of think of like a king toes too, right? Like there's still some water that gets through it. However, the flow of it is disrupted, right? And if we like purposefully kink our own hose because, maybe we don't want to see the truth of a thing, like maybe we don't want to, really admit to ourselves that our jobs are, sucking the life out of us, or that our relationship is, or that, something that we are putting a lot of time and attention and resources into, isn't what we thought, it was going to be. And maybe like, what if this thing happened? What if that thing happened? Like, what if whatever, right? So with the World card and the Knight of Pentacles, it really is saying like, stop. And like I said, with it being in the position of the energy that is no longer serving you, it is no longer serving you to be, what were the words? Perseverance and grit, prudent and careful efforts, industriousness, stamina. Stamina is a thing. Dedication, hardworking. Those aren't bad things, right? At all. They're not bad things. They're great things to have, to display, to be. However, it's like one of those things of like, if you are giving those things to the wrong thing, then you're not going to like receive energy from it. It's like you're like pouring all of your whatever is available to you into a bottomless pit, and it's literally giving nothing back to you. And what is so interesting is that over here on the energy that will be available to you, or the energy that's coming in, we have the High Priestess with the Page of Pentacles. So I kind of love this because the Page of Pentacles, I'm going to talk about that first. They're like the apprentice, right? They're the newbie. They allow themselves to be new at something. Commitment to prosperity, first signs of tangible success, undeniable evidence that hard work will pay off, dreams grounded in reality, start of a new project. The High Priestess says some things are not meant to be known intellectually, but are meant to be experienced through intuition. This card reminds us to trust that I have access to higher wisdom and knowing when I tune into and trust my vibes. This is a time when mysteries will be revealed and I can grow as a result. That's kind of like I was giving the analogy or metaphor. I can never remember which one it is. With the king toes thing, right? Like this is unkinking your own hose, or just letting, the one side go so that it rights itself. And this is literally that like trust and surrender that, your intuition is guiding you in the right direction, because of course it is. And also like the energy then is available to come in to you. Like if you are, when we do have or suppress or create an obstacle like within our own energy, because maybe, I don't know, we're holding ourselves back for some reason, and maybe that has to do with some sort of relationship. And again, right, it could be keeping yourself in a job because it's stable, when really it's like you've experienced as much growth as you are ever going to get at that job, and really the energy is available for you to move on to something where you can continue to build on your skills and even maybe get paid more and maybe learn something new or whatever, right? Same with a relationship, which I think is just as hard, or if not harder than, changing jobs or whatever, right? Because it's like you put a lot of, that's like you spend half of your time at work and half of your time in your relationship, right? Like as far as like location goes. So it's the same. It's like, it's hard to recognize that the energy within a relationship is stifled, or there's an obstacle in it, or even too that it's holding you back in some capacity. However that's happening, it could be, like a conscious decision made by you. It could be just the dynamic of the relationship, whatever, right? No judgment, of course, on, over here. It's just the energy here is available. This could even be entrepreneurship in some capacity, even looking into it, freelancing, because this kid truly feels like he's like going on his own little journey. And with the High Priestess being divinely guided, almost like karmic, right? Like it's like fated, written in the stars. There could be some sort of transit happening, like in your chart that is supportive of this. The High Priestess is the moon, which is Cancer, but I've heard the High Priestess associated to Pisces. So yeah, stop sleeping on yourself. Even too, like just shifting where you focus your energy, even if it's just a thought, right? Like changing your mindset here. Like even if it's just focusing forward or focusing on whatever this new thing is, like letting the energy start flowing towards that and seeing what happens. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.